Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Hay Feed and Ranch Services.
Thanks, Greg. We wouldn't be able to do this without our listeners. 69 degrees in Victoria under partly cloudy skies, heading to a high today of 88. I was in there in repose.
Yes, you
napping
were
on the sofa.
Yep.
And I just thought that you would push the two obvious buttons, but that's not your fault. It's my responsibility.
You're here. I don't venture to your side of the of the lane.
What do we pay him for? He doesn't even
right.
Same pay, less job. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sounds like government work.
Right.
I was on a shutdown.
I was on a shutdown.
I was on a shutdown.
Let's start there.
Okay.
What is this? Well, it's not good optics if we're working on the East Wing renovation and the government shut down.
Two totally separate issues.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the bad optics that the government shut down because the Democrats won't find 7 votes. And as we heard Senator John Kennedy talk the other day about the idiocy in the $1.5 trillion that they want to continue spending.
Junior, after the day you had yesterday on the Bill Posey show, you're going to throw stones. I hear you. I hear you. I have one job. I did not realize I needed to push the button. I was remiss in a duty.
What do you have a producer for if you can't push the buttons?
That's right.
That's
I should have
exactly
pushed the button. It's my fault.
So are we good everywhere?
We're good now. We're great now. There's BJ Nelson checking in.
Good morning, BJ. Who was on the podium this morning? I guess didn't check that out. Well, I probably said it, but nobody heard it. Ricky King, Greg Garcia, Scott Tonko.
Yeah.
That's it. I quit.
Later on in the program, we covered that.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Even if I didn't talk about it. There's David Glass, Karen Murray. Good
Hi,
morning.
Karen Murray.
Justin Glass, Ricky King, Lisa Poole, Junior Samples, Tammy Keeling, Jordan Glass, Stephanie Connie, Mark Zapata, Linda Christ. There's Zed Stewart. I'm sure Heather's in. Marcy Kuchera. Good morning. Rena Scherer, Mark Kurtz, Greg Garcia, Scott Snow, P. Strauss, Bobby Leister, Micah Patton, Stephen Castaneda, Carter, John Paul Hollow, Marvin Mickish.
Great group. Love having you guys check in. John Fetterman said that they should go to the, quote, nuclear option and somehow agree to, and this is a Democrat, and so we could just agree to drop back to a simple majority. 51 votes passes what you want to pass. I don't know what precedent that sets. I don't know, if that's permanent. Is it a one-time deal? I don't know.
I think it's still next time they sit the Congress and then they determine the rules that they're going to run by.
I do think it's interesting that the continuing resolution that the Republicans are proposing is the exact same one that was ratified like the previous 3 times.
Minus the $1.5 trillion, right?
Well, I don't think that the past ones had the $1.5 trillion in there either. They did point out yesterday, I was listening to a Breitbart, and Mike Slater was pointing out that the number of people, the list he read happened to be people that were deported back to Mexico. He was not disparaging Mexico or Mexicans. But he said, this guy convicted of murder in the U.S. And, he had to go. But he was on Medicaid.
Yeah.
He was on Medicaid.
Greg Garcia says John Fetterman is the last reasonable leftist on the planet.
I agree 100%.
Here's the problem I have with that. His talk and his words would make one believe that. His voting record has not reflected the words that he seems to be speaking as of late.
So he's still voting.
Still votes
with the
straight down. Yeah. I mean, John, go convince 6 others to vote with you and let's pass this thing. The Democrats in the Senate have all voted lockstep to not move this thing forward. So, you don't want to move this. You don't want to move this forward. Here's what I see happening here and what they're trying to do. And I think P. Strauss is a good point. Patrick Strauss, they want to spend that $1.5 trillion to add to the debt so they can run on that in 2028. That's part of it. They also want to point out They want to be able to point out that, well, the Republicans use the nuclear option, and they'll use that against the Republicans in 2028 as well, because I would think it would be easier, or maybe at least somewhat not necessarily easier, but I would think it would be, John Fetterman might actually have to go to work a little bit.
I turned it off.
To get 6 people and himself to vote.
Well, he can't work. The government shut down.
But he's still getting paid.
Maybe he could call some people.
How many votes have they voted again since
They voted,
Monday or
Tuesday?
No,
they voted 11 times now.
Yeah, and haven't done it again. So, yeah, I'm not convinced. Fetterman may sound good, but his voting record hasn't reflected any of that. So, I'm not convinced that he isn't but what he appears to be, and that's a wolf in a hoodie. Wolf in sheep's hoodies.
There you go.
Cheap
Actually
hoodies,
seems like a decently likable guy now. Used to be really, really. You remember he was really out there.
Well, I think maybe that was the effects of the stroke. I don't know.
Okay?
Well, the synapses weren't firing the way they should have been.
I know that feeling. Can relate. I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke. Somebody would get on us for making fun of stroke.
Yeah. We're making fun of a PSA that used to air.
Remember that? She's like looking. People were going, Mom, are you okay? And she goes, I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke. She couldn't say it.
No.
Because
she was having a stroke.
There you have it.
How about this illegal immigrant in LA?
Killed 3 people.
Killed
himself.
Yeah, I think they shot him in the elbow.
That'll teach him.
Yeah. They were aiming to wound, and they were effective.
Right.
Just shoot him in the knee.
Yeah.
Why the knee when I can get him in the elbow?
This guy decides he had a cam on his dash, and it just shows him running full speed into the rear of a
ICE vehicle.
Yeah, and it hits a vehicle, it hits another vehicle, and it finally stopped by an 18-wheeler.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, earlier this year, the city of LA gave him an award, a recognition, commendation for tipping off people to ICE raids. So he's aiding and abetting criminals and criminal activity, and the city of LA decides to.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Go back and I'll read you part of the quote here. It says, the award from the city of Los Angeles for his tireless efforts to safeguard our neighborhoods from illegal raids. This is who the Hateful Eight, for example, supports. Yeah. These are the people that they support.
So the raids are illegal, but you're here illegally, and that has nothing to do with anything.
Because it can be viewed that these guys from ICE are like Gestapo.
That's fine. We're good.
They're
just
police.
The brown shirts.
They're just here for Hitler because Trump is Hitler. History is repeating itself. He's clearly a dictator. No way he steps down in 28.
Did Hitler build a ballroom at the Reichstag?
No,
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. Okay. Good to know. Yeah. What's the other? Now I saw a headline this morning. The big beautiful ballroom might cost $300 million instead of $200.
Who cares?
How does that?
Doesn't even matter.
How does seriously though? How does the cost escalation go from 100 up 100 million in like 2 days?
Oh, I read about this. Can I share?
Please,
is that cool?
Do, yeah.
So it's because the current East Wing is not ready to take this new building in, and it's not got up to date security and doors and things.
Oh, so it's the Louvre.
Yeah, so they're having to renovate the East Wing to make it ready to accept the ballroom. That's where the extra 100 million came in.
Jeez.
But the
Sounds like-
taxpayers aren't paying for it. That's
Yeah.
what I like, is that he's got this funded. Now, who's funding it? That's a whole nother question.
Well, it's people who want to bribe the
Right.
government. That's who's funding it, right? According to the leftists.
Here's what I'll share with you folks. If you take 300 million, which, by the way, good morning, Sheriff Louderback. It's a House District 30 state rep checking in.
He's getting 300 million.
If you take 300 million, is it me or is Cody over speaking a little bit this morning? He's grabbing punchlines that are not there.
He either got too much sleep last night for the first time since
Is that
the baby was
sleeping
born,
all night?
or he hasn't
he's
had
delirious?
any sleep.
Is
It's
that
one
your
or the
third
other.
Starbucks this morning? When you go to Starbucks, do you have to
Now
go
he's
through
shaking
finance?
his head. Now he doesn't want to
won't
talk.
I can't hear what you're saying. I'm sorry.
If you take 300 million, because the Dems are, number one, they're so interested in 1902 era architecture now. It's just
And all of a sudden they're concerned about the money being spent in this country, right?
Let's use that $300 million and divide it by the 1.5 trillion that they're holding all of us hostage over. Just to give you perspective, it's 0.0002.
3 zeros.
So it's 2/100ths of a percent. Well, I don't know. You have to move that over two decimal points to get percent.
0.02%.
Anyway, it's just, but the point is the 300 million, all of which is, Melissa Hanson says, I personally like hearing from Cody. Why don't you, you could message him and brand us. The $300 million is all being donated as gifts. I don't see the problem. And now it's like, oh, well, you're tearing down the East
Yeah.
Wing.
Even Tom Tillis from North Carolina was a little worried about the optics. Come on, dude.
Well, he did say, and again, they'll take a soundbite out of context.
Well, there's that.
He said, we're in the middle of a shutdown and talking about a ballroom is bad optics. Talking about it. He didn't say doing it. Spending time talking about it is bad optics.
That's
Good morning, Mom. Yeah.
Tammy Williams, having dinner parties in a tent is probably not that safe. Good
Right.
point.
Now you're going to have people say, well, why are they having dinner parties? We've got starving people in Haiti. They shouldn't eat.
Why do they have a White House chef?
I don't get it.
He likes McDonald's. He can just eat there.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, was the Louvre orchestrated by the same folks that were keeping an eye on Jeffrey Epstein in prison?
Makes you wonder. The cameras weren't facing anywhere near
Where they should have
needed
been.
to be.
Yeah.
Then you wonder, did they have help on the inside and somebody redirected the camera?
How could you not, right? Yeah. I mean, they got in through a balcony on the second floor. They had cameras outside this balcony, and they were pointing away from the balcony door. Couldn't see anybody going in through the balcony, getting up onto the second floor. How nobody saw them climbing up there in the daylight is another
I think they
thing.
went up there looking. I think they hid in broad daylight. They went up there looking like workers.
Yeah.
I did not agree. It was because it was pointed out. You hear about a crime. It says the crime, perpetrated by a white woman. I don't like you don't need to bring race into everything. I also don't think it was relevant that they said that just now the director of the Louvre is a woman and the head of security is a woman, somehow insinuating that the fact that there were two women involved allowed this to happen. I don't see it that way. I don't know. It would not have crossed my mind if they had just said, here's the list of who did it, Lisa and Sheila. I would have not gone, oh, well, there you have it. Two women involved.
2 women and jewels. That thing should have been secure as
Should have been
everything.
locked down. Should have been locked down.
And now they're saying, well, they're probably going to take them apart and sell them all separately.
Yeah.
But you brought up a good point. There's probably some evil billionaire somewhere
Oh,
who
yeah.
would like that for his own private collection just so he can go.
I mean, you got to know that there's Picassos that have been stolen, there's Rembrandts that have been stolen, and there was all types of art that was confiscated in World War II. And there's people that know that what they have doesn't belong to them. You know, they do. Very interesting.
But I guess that would be the easiest way to fence the jewels out of these crown jewels would be to
Break them
break
apart.
them apart. You know, talking stuff going back to Napoleon's dynasty. This was tough.
Interesting.
He wants $1 million.
$1 million.
Oh, should we take our first break?
I think
Let's
so.
take our first break. Let's talk about Parvita Wellness because tonight you can't make it to bingo night for Palace Bingo. Get over to Parvita
Or before.
Wellness. Or before. You could go there. That's right. They're going to have people on the patio playing James Canning Jr., young gentleman who performs his own music, self-taught musician. Aren't they all these days?
Yeah, but he's coming out to play live music. Go over there and have a bite and enjoy that.
5:30 to 7:30 tonight on the patio at the Vita Cafe.
So you could go over there at 6
5:30.
o'clock, let's say, and he'll be playing, have dinner, and still make it to Palace Bingo before the first ball drops at 7:30.
Yep.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Get out there. USA Concrete Coatings, Charlie Garcia, 578 Home. We tell you every day that he does great things with concrete, from level it to sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it, whatever you need done. Call USA Concrete Coatings. Veracruz Restaurant, post caldo Wednesday, Thursday. The full menu is back in effect, minus the caldo.
Sans Caldo.
Chicken fried steak, pork chop plates. Get in today for the best Tex-Mex, hot sauce, freshest chips, guacamole, queso. Great spot, great folks. Allen's Record Service, 578-6300. Let Allen help you get from here to there. He's got a 75-ton crane. If your big rig rolls over anywhere in this region, Allen can come and right the ship. The Dollar Floor Store, Dollar Floor there to help. Whether you need laminate flooring, hardwood flooring, tile, carpet, they've got it all. The Dollar Floor Store, the best brands, the best service. Go by and see them. And then White Trash Services and White Trash Site Services for all your demolition and removal needs. If you want to get rid of a small building or even a large building, White Trash will make 2 trips. Give them a call. 550-1826. You'll talk to a human being. Great, friendly folks there to help you. And then the chopping block.
Barbacoa
$12.
Boudin was back yesterday.
Probably gone.
Probably, but they've now limiting you to 4 links person, which is probably a good thing because I know people.
You think there's like a black market, Cody? You think they're reselling?
I'm not allowed to talk.
Oh, I knew he was
I'm
pouting.
just kidding.
I knew he was pouting over there. He had that look.
Yes, there's a Boudin black market.
Although this stuff's so good, I think it's people just. So I've heard. I haven't been able to buy any,
No, I've never had it.
and I can't find that black market either. Nobody's offering that up
And why does it have to be
on
a
the dark
black
web.
market? What, you know, why? Is that racist?
I don't think so.
Melissa Hanson thinks you're funny. Good one, Cody.
At least somebody likes me.
Melissa is the Cody Bauman
Fan club
fan club.
president,
I'm starting my own fan club.
lone member.
If she starts showing up here at the studio like with a plate of brownies, these aren't for y'all. These are for Cody. Oh,
Sounds
my.
good to me.
Oh my. Andrew Alvarez said he ate the whole 2 pounds he bought by himself.
Hopefully not in one.
Maybe he has the black web, the
Good.
dark web of it.
Maybe he is the guy. Why's it got to be the black web?
It's not. It's the dark web.
The black market. Why is it got to be dark, black? I think it's racist. I'm telling you, everything that's negative ends up being dark or black. That's, you know,
No, not necessarily.
It's the seedy underground of the world. That's
True
the
story.
reason.
Because
For
Fort
sure.
Worth City Council the other day voted to rename White Settlement Road West Side Drive. Why not the East Side?
I don't know why. I don't know the actual naming behind Okay, some local residents and businesses opposed the move, arguing that it would be erasing history and, of course, now the significant administrative costs.
Yeah. 28 grand apparently around there to update street signs. But imagine if you have a whole bunch of letterhead return envelopes printed with your address. Apparently the community was named after a trading post established near several Native American villages back in the 1800s.
We just missed a call from BJ Nelson. I'm going to call her back.
So they called the area White Settlement.
Bluetooth is the other one.
What those answers?
I don't know. You there, BJ?
Larkspur Capital, a developer, is trying to build a development up that way called West Side Village, and they wanted the name change. I think it's called that. I think they're going to be on Settlement Road.
I don't know why she's. I tried.
I got nothing.
She's not there.
So, yeah, interesting move in the Fort Worth area.
I don't. A white settlement. Is it literally? Cody, Google.
That's what it's called. It's the
White
little
settlement. Is
community
it
there.
named because?
That's what it says right here. Named because of it was
For
the
the
white
white
settlement
people?
in the middle of at that time was what was known as basically Indian country. Right?
Wow, that's so terrible, isn't it? That's a white settlement.
Corpus Christi trying to settle their water issues just spent 169 or will spend 169 million dollars with the Evangeline Water Group in Sinton, 24 million gallons a day.
It's a
And
lot.
apparently the desalination plant isn't dead yet. City Council also in Corpus approving to buy water from the desalination plant if and when.
I want to say that I was told yesterday that they paid like $169 million for some surface water rights,
That's the money coming from.
And that-
Sinton.
and that the land that the water is coming from was only valued at like $109 million. So they could have just bought the land. But interesting.
Well, then they've got to build the pipelines. City manager in Corpus, Peter Zanoni, says total project could almost reach $400 million. Wells, pipelines, other infrastructure to deliver that water.
They're going to start paying a lot of money down there for water.
Yeah. The city plans to stop drawing from Lake Corpus Christi on Choke Canyon Reservoir in 2026.
There's no water there. I've been there. There's no water there. That lake's down like 80 feet or whatever. It's terrible. Cody, fact check. How much is Choke Canyon Reservoir down? Let's try BJ Nelson one more time. She's calling. So see if you can Bluetooth her over there. Push the Bluetooth up. We're connected.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can.
There we go.
You're there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up?
Well, fun fact, I actually went to school on White Settlement Road. Hearing you talk about that, that's not why I called. From kindergarten through 5th grade, and nobody thought twice about it. That's just what the name of the road was.
That's
So,
right. I can
But-
remember being up there. I can remember going to Memphis one time and asked a guy at the hotel who happened to be a black guy. I asked him, "Is there anything I should know about Memphis if I veer out of my hotel?" He goes, "Well, Whitehaven ain't."
Ah.
And I went, "Okay." I said, "Thank you." He's a black guy. Whitehaven ain't.
It ain't.
It
That's
ain't.
hilarious.
So, why
Okay.
you called for something else? You're certainly welcome
I
to
did.
share anything you like.
I did. My social media people put together a coffee hour tomorrow morning at Bloom and Flower on Liberty Street. It's from 9 to 10 o'clock. It's a neat thing they're doing. They're letting businesses sponsor it, and I think you pay like $150, and people can come in and get free coffee. I think up to $150. So be there early. And wanted to invite the listeners to come, and even if you have small children with you, bring them. They have a little play area, and we're going to be sitting there answering trash questions and drinking coffee. Wanted to invite anyone to come.
Awesome. That's
Nice.
awesome. It's right here. It's called. It's the old Liberty Coffee House, right?
Right on
Yeah.
Liberty Street. What time tomorrow,
It's kind
BJ?
of 9 to 10 o'clock, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's like catty corner, kind of from the library. If people don't know where it is, but yeah, they're doing this for businesses. And my daughter-in-law's gone a couple times, and she says they always have a good turnout and people visit and everything. So I wanted to invite your listeners to come.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Appreciate
the
that.
share. We appreciate you and everything White Trash does in the community. Thank
Of
you.
course.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, y'all have a great
day.
Friday.
Thanks, BJ.
There's OB checking in from Sacramento. Did you see where Micah Patton said his buddy had his property listed? It was a lakefront home. He changed the listing to say it's a home with farmland because that is now.
Yeah, with some irrigation.
Did you see anything about how far the lake is down, Commander?
Yes, sir.
How far is
So
it?
in 2007, it was at 100%. And it's not been at 100% since then, and currently is at 10.9% as of 3 days ago.
And Choke Canyon was known for being a great fishing lake. So 90% of the water is gone. I mean, I've gone and you can drive in. Nobody any longer is at the guard shack where you would pay like your $6 to enter the park. You just drive. It's beautiful, beautiful park. Beautiful. And you just drive in and I drive around till I find the boat ramp. And, you know, the boat ramp, say, is 100 feet long. And in the past, the bottom 40 feet of that would have been underwater. Now, the water isn't necessarily 40 feet deep, but the thing's at an angle. And so 40 foot of it, you can back your trailer all the way down into the water. That boat ramp, Ash, goes the whole 100 feet, and then it drops off, and then it goes out another quarter of a mile before you see any water. Yeah, it's kind of
You'll get stuck in the
apocalyptic.
mud
It's
before.
it's kind of eerie. Like you go there and you go, it's like a ghost town. Now, I don't know what feeds into Choke Canyon. Hint to Cody, hint to Cody. I don't know where the water comes from. I don't know that.
I don't know.
But much like our own Lake Texana over here, the surface, the top so many feet belong to the city of Corpus Christi.
And is that why it's so low? Because
I
they've
think
been
they've been pulling
pulling
water out of it.
as much as they can get.
Yeah.
I remember a time when you never saw anything, any of those old trees that were all submerged for years.
Right.
Now the water never gets up near, even close to covering all that vegetation. It's
It's
crazy.
the Frio River.
It's real.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Well, no,
I
yeah,
didn't
no
know
wonder.
that because the Frio River hardly ever flows. And
Yeah.
the Frio, the water comes out of
The
one of the-
rocks up by Lakey. Right?
That's right. It's spring fed.
Yeah.
So it's the bubbling up of the aquifer.
Which is probably now all full of saline and out in West Texas. So
Right. We need Sarah Stogner to come on and tell us about it.
Probably,
She
probably
probably
know
not
something
about it.
about
She
it.
probably would know something
Yeah.
about it.
What do you make of? I'm waiting for the leftists to once again get all up in their feels over the drug boats on the Pacific side now.
Yeah, and when
That-
they say
that-
Pacific, like your brain thinks that these guys are coming in off the coast of California. It's on the Pacific side of the Dominican Republic. They just went around the left side of the island
Yeah.
instead of going around the right side. They may have still cut back and gone to Florida, or wherever. But I've got no problem with this. Donald Trump said in a statement yesterday, every time we blow up one of those boats, he goes, I would feel bad, except I tell myself and remind myself that we're saving 25,000 American lives and all the grief for their family because these guys are bringing illegal drugs into our country. And Marco Rubio just said, hey, if you are driving a drug boat, be aware you are in grave danger. We intend to kill you. How much more plain do you want it to be?
And he pointed out kind of what you and I pointed out the other day, though, and it's funny, these, the leftists are defending these folks They've got one fishing rod on a boat with 400 horsepower engines on the back.
And
of
there's
this
like
thing.
5 guys on the boat and one
Fishing
rod. It's there to give the illusion
No
that they're
bait
fishing.
well, no well for
No.
the fish they're catching.
No cooler.
Nothing.
The one we saw this morning it looked like a really fast boat. It
Yeah.
had 3 or 4 engines on the back, but in front of the console was just a big black tarp. And it's just a shipment of drugs.
What are they covering? They're keeping it's black so they can't see it from any air surveillance
Yeah, so they just
or a
blew it
boat
up.
going by. So yeah,
And it's the Main Street media referred to Pete Hegseth as the Secretary of Defense, even though it's been renamed the Secretary of War, and just said these alleged drug dealers. It was funny. Trump said there's very few boats out there anymore. It's very, very calm. I like it.
because what else
I
is
ain't
going
going
on?
fishing.
Yeah, I mean, is the tourism industry in Venezuela so thriving that they're now offering submersible rides around the Caribbean?
That was
That's
interesting.
correct.
Right?
Yeah, they had like a what was it, Cody? A submarine or something?
Yeah, last week blew up a submarine because boat
No
was-
problem with that. I have no problem with that. Cody has no problem. He said, "Good, blow them up."
This ain't a tourist thing going to see the fishes and the coral reefs off the coast of Venezuela.
It is interesting that the left, in stereotype, in broad brush strokes, the left is in favor of illegal immigration. The left, we've got to make it easier for those folks to assimilate. The left is in favor of leaving the drug boats alone. I don't get it. Why can't Americans be united that, hey, way to go, President Trump. Just thank you for eliminating the drugs from coming into our country. Thank you, President Trump, for helping us clean up Chicago. It's been a long-running joke that, 52 people were shot in Chicago this weekend. Yeah, JP, I'll tell you where he was. You were talking about the most recent boat that I saw. It looked like a blue boat, kind of a cigarette-looking boat, big, long, pointed front end. Then there's that black tarp area, and right behind it, there's like a little console with a little steering with a little windshield, and there's a guy standing there.
I'm sure he was in all the line too.
He was right in front of the engines.
Daniel Byrd says a point I was going to make. When we had the war on drugs and we were doing this under Reagan and maybe Bush and Clinton, nobody cared.
No, that's right.
Nobody cared.
Trump does it. He's a mass murderer.
Now, Daniel Byrd says we've been doing this for a lot of years.
What is CDOPS?
I don't know. Sounds good.
CDOPS.
Yeah.
Genius.
Daniel says we would be stationed out of Puerto Rico, Aruba, St. Thomas. Happens way more than you think. And that's
right.
exactly it. These are just now getting, because again, we released this video, we released the footage of this stuff in the guise of transparency.
Yeah.
And the media doesn't, they don't celebrate this stuff.
Greg Garcia says you play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Solid.
Bunch of sharks and squid and octopus running around just higher than a
Brad
kite
Meyer.
right now in the
Oh
Caribbean.
no, the whale watchers. Yeah. There you go. Fast boats and subs are a constant. They're only telling you the ones that they feel push their agenda.
I think.
Oh, there you go, Cody. Counter drug operations.
Yeah. I'll be honest. They're probably only telling you the ones they got. How many are getting away, right?
Thank you,
It's kind of like the getaways on the border.
Yeah.
We knew the ones that we got, but then we started talking about the encounters. Kara Murray says, and she says they, I'm assuming she means the leftists.
Right.
They see criminals as victims of society, not as individuals responsible for their actions. That's exactly it. Probably couldn't sum that up anymore, right? Same thing with all the illegals that have come.
I want to make sure that I'm not labeled. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not misogynistic. So I'm going to go ahead and today I've stated I had no problem. It would have never crossed my mind to mention that the Louvre talent was female. What did you make of? And I think it was in either Virginia. I think it was in New York. where this kid, he was like, the number was crazy. Like, he was like 25 years old. He'd been arrested like 150 times. And that was one. He was stealing, and the female judge let him out.
Told him, if you do it again,
That's what she
we'll
did.
revoke your bail.
The female judge said, she said, I see good in you. She did. That's what she said.
In spite of his long, and she even says something like this:
In spite
of your long rap sheet and all your convictions,
she goes, yeah. With that
and
said,
criminal behavior.
With that said, I'm setting bail at
$9,500.
And that night, the kid hooked up with his old thieving buddies, and they broke into another house.
Yeah, and also threatened witnesses against him. So then they locked him up and threw him away with no bail. But she knew it was coming.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
And for those of you that have kept up, see if you can find that anything about that Massey, Massey, was a lady, I believe, in Carolina. At any rate, a lady that now they say had a history of some mental health issues. She called sheriff's deputies to come to her home, and two of them came, and she's in the house. And as the conversation goes on, I've seen body cam footage. Starts out, she's on the sofa, but she ends up in the kitchen and allegedly tells this deputy that she has a pot of boiling water and she's taking it off the stove, and she tells the deputy, I'm going to rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And she intended to, according to the deputy, throw this boiling water on him. And I've seen the footage. He pulls his weapon and says, put that down, put it down. And she begins towards him, and he shot and killed her. Now, to me, she broke the fundamental rule of common sense, which is law enforcement tells you to do something, you do it. By the way, you invited them to your home. So she gets shot. His partner testified yesterday. I don't agree with him. I didn't see anything in her actions that made me fear for my safety, my imminent, death.
He was standing over here.
Sure,
while
he
she
sure was
coming at him, right?
He sure was. She
Yeah.
wasn't talking to him either. I
haven't seen the video or anything. So
I did
Pass
think
some
that
judgment.
maybe he could have tased her. I don't know. But then,
I don't know. Is it any better when you've got electricity and water?
well, I mean, it's not like it would have killed her like that 40 caliber did.
Oh, but now
She might have been burned.
Now, if
We'd
they're
have
all
lawsuits.
standing in the water and it's electrified, because she's electrified, are they all electrocuted at that point? I don't know.
So,
I don't know.
but could have been bad. Could have been bad. Anyway, she died.
Still,
And it's in the news. White deputies, black female. That's the issue. That's why it's in the news.
and she probably wanted death by cop. She probably wanted suicide by cop.
Yeah. They're saying
Didn't have the wherewithal to pull the trigger herself or to do herself in. So let's get the police over here. Let me grab the pot of boiling water.
And then just say to an officer, I'm going to rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. And
Yeah.
you got to boil it.
Pretty-
What are you going to throw, like the holy water on him?
Maryland.
I was in Maryland. Thank you, Will.
Franklin's.
Will, do I have the story basically right? Am I close? I think I have no problem. I mean, I'd have shot her. Just saying. Didn't want to do it. Felt like I owed it to her.
Yeah, Daniel Bird
See,
agrees with me on that.
Melissa Hanson comes in with, or he could have shot her somewhere that was not life-threatening just to stop her in her tracks. Officers don't do that. Officers don't go, I'm going to
That's in the movies.
That's in the movies where the guy just comes off and doesn't even sight the weapon. Just shoots her in the leg. Doesn't happen.
Same thing with, if you're ever taking when I took my LTC, if you have to shoot,
Center mass, shoot,
center
kill.
mass and empty the magazine, right? Empty the clip.
Stop the
Stop the threat.
threat.
Yep.
Because if you don't have to do that, then you probably don't need to shoot.
John Anderson says, but this is such a, Cody, make a note because this is the art of the segue. John Anderson says, how do Catholics make holy water? They boil the hell out of it. Did you see where yesterday King Charles and Queen Camilla, the head concubine, he being the head of the Church of England, which apparently now supports divorce and marrying your mistress, he's still the head guy. He met, first time in England's history that a king met publicly and prayed with a Catholic pope. Not the same religion. They're not the same. So King Charles met and visited with Pope Leo. These are two neutered, powerless people. I don't know why they would, but it's great that they got together. And apparently they met at the Sistine Chapel and had kind of an interfaith prayer time together. So I thought that was good. What did Andy
Rocket says the woman was murdered by a cop that was poorly trained. In between the woman and the cop was a sink where she was placing the pot. As the cop yelled, "I will shoot you in your head," which is where she was shot. See, I haven't seen any of this. I was just going by what you were saying. I haven't read any of this. Didn't know anything about this.
So I'm not sure which. So see, Randy Okovich. Andy Rokovich saying, "Hey, I don't think he needed to shoot her." Okay, and maybe I don't know. Now Will Franklin says, "Hey, law enforcement says, tired of it." Melissa Hint says her threat to him would not have been life threatening.
I don't know.
Throw
water on a guy.
I'm not going to take the boiling water to the dome just so I can say, well, I'm burned over 40% of my body, but it wasn't life threatening. I'd just shoot her. Yeah. Next, we're all to the donut shop.
Yeah. Federal government shutdown ends. I don't think we mentioned it was second longest ever, 23 days now. The last time we saw this lengthy of a shutdown was all the way back to the Clinton administration. So it's not unprecedented, and it's been done by the other side of the aisle as well.
Have any of you noticed anything, Cody, any differences in your life since the shutdown?
No, sir.
Some federal workers will starting tomorrow because they will miss their first entire paychecks. Right. And that in this day and age when I don't know what the stat is, but it's well over 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. This is going to hurt some.
And there's just no getting around that the people that are hurting them are the Democrats who care so much and don't want any of those folks to lose their jobs. I think if you're a government worker and you don't get a check tomorrow, you should quit and get a real job somewhere else. That's what I would do. I would go into the private sector where I knew I could work and earn a check.
Or go get a job. You don't have to quit. You're not working right now.
Right. Get
DoorDash.
a job.
The federal subsidies that are apparently in this, the one now they're saying it's estimated $1.8 trillion. Regardless of the money, it's 7% of the U.S. GDP.
Yeah.
7% of our GDP. And while I was gone, I found something else out that our debt is now growing at a rate that is larger than our GDP for the first time ever in the history of this country.
Right. When you throw in the interest on the debt,
and that makes our dollar worth even less.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is surprising that it could be. And gold, meanwhile, last week, up over $4,000 an ounce.
Isn't that crazy?
Who would have thought? Boy, if I could go back in time and put all my paper route money into gold.
What does that tell you, though?
I was making as much with the paper route as it cost for 1 ounce of gold. If I would have just put all that money into ounces of gold for 2 years, nowadays, woo!
Think about it.
How come the left doesn't matter saying anything about this? They're all crying about a $300 million East Wing renovation paid for by donors. Meanwhile, big banks who launder money for the cartel,
JP Morgan Chase in this case, a $3 billion 60-story quote unquote global headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. Now Mondami going to allow them to rent that space, or are they going to be having to give it away?
I don't know.
It'll be the 6th tallest building in Manhattan. Your Chase credit card is paying for that.
You know, if J.P. Morgan Chase really cared, I got to thinking about this the other day because everybody expects the government to solve the housing crisis. Everybody expects governments to do more to renovate and revitalize downtowns. This building will house about 10,000 of J.P. Morgan's 24,000 New York-based employees, according to 1440 this morning. Why not go and spend that money in smaller communities and let's revitalize those? Let's get the cost of living out of New York. Let's put people, American workers, assuming they're not hiring any illegals here, and tell them, you know what, we're going to go build this in Victoria, Texas. And if you want to keep your job, you're going to go live there. And you know what? We're going to pay you what we're paying you. And the beauty of it is when you move to Victoria, you're going to have a whole lot more money in your pocket because, A, you're not going to pay any New York taxes.
And you don't have to wear a suit every day.
Because you're going to live in Texas where there's no state income tax. Imagine what private companies could do if they would just do this. There's really no reason they have to be in New York. They're not on the trading floor anymore, taking their little sheets and running around going, oh, buy this stock right now.
You want to talk about crazy? Says the 2.5 million square foot building features 19 restaurants and lighting calibrated to circadian rhythms. I don't know what that means.
Sleep patterns and stuff. So they're going to be working people around the clock. It's a sweatshop it's a white collar sweatshop. So 19 restaurants. So they want to generate revenue. So the cartels can launder their money through this.
$800 billion bank.
Yeah.
Market cap, $800 billion. Take that, sport.
Chesnick Furniture Company. For all your furniture needs, everything you need for your house to make it a home. Chesnick and Love make your house a home. You always just always do better. But Chesnick, stop on by, go talk to Bobby Leon and the gang over there, and see what they can do for your bedding woes, your furniture needs. The holidays are coming up. You might want a brand new dining room table. The one you have isn't big enough as your family's growing. Or maybe the one's too big for you. Now that the kids are moved away, you don't need a big dining room table that seats 10. Chesnick has you covered. Every room in the house. There's a court. Stop on by. Go see them right. Beautiful downtown Victoria, Texas. Went Services for all your electrical needs. We talked about it yesterday. Our very good friend, Junior Samples, getting himself a whole home generator.
Very good friend. That feels a little
I know he's
questionable.
listening right now.
Oh, sorry. Right.
If he wasn't listening, it'd just be our friend Junior, but he's
Okay.
listening right now, so
okay.
he's a very good friend.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's going to get himself a whole home generator from Went.
He got it.
Oh,
He said he's going to send us pictures. He
Okay.
said it is installed.
all right. I'm not done. We're going to get to Ask an Offer and AskAnOffer.com. Truck month going on now.
$12,250 off of the new Chevy Silverado,
Nice.
bringing the price down to $125,000.
And it's all electric.
No, it's
No,
great.
it's not. Yeah,
It's great.
beautiful trucks. And don't forget tonight, Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Wade and Carter night. Come on out. We'll have a good time. Promise you that. We always do.
Yeah. Junior Samples' gold was at 41.57 an ounce yesterday. So my question is anybody buying gold right now? Because if you do, I mean, are we thinking it's going to $6,000 an ounce?
I don't. Well,
Is
I
that-
learned something else. I mean, I've heard these ads. You can put it into your IRA and things like that. I don't know about that, but I did find out that if you actually buy gold and you sell it, it's taxed as a collectible. It's taxed as a collectible. So that changes.
I saw
much you pay him?
JP Hall out in the lobby. You know, JP goes in and goes, I want 4 pounds of gold. He buys it by the pound.
I had a talk with somebody yesterday, and they're like, what if everything went to hell and we're back to bartering for stuff and our dollar's worth nothing?
Could happen.
Did somebody, I mean, is gold really going to be the currency that you exchange at that time? And if you have physical gold in your house and somebody knows about it,
Right.
you're gonna have to secure your house better than the Louvre,
Right.
right? I mean, and what are you gonna do? You got a gold brick, you got a gold nugget. You're just gonna chip some off to give to somebody. I mean,
Here, have a filling.
yeah. I mean, it was kind of an interesting conversation. Like, how do you actually, like, just because you have gold, is it really going to become the currency that people are going to use if the dollar goes south, or will we do more bartering like we've always done over time?
I agree with Kelly Frommy. Ammo will be the currency. Linda Chris says gold is a big seller right now. But I mean, is it a big? I guess it is. People are saying, well, I've bought it at $1,100 an ounce.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it and make $3,000 an ounce off of it.
That's Canadian.
Yeah, it's almost $3,000 an ounce.
Absolutely. Let's see what else is happening around the world and Texas.
I'm watching you. Isn't Gerald up? Cody, isn't that where they were doing the strip mining up kind of by like Centerville and all that? Isn't that where Gerald is? Labatt Food Service of San Antonio is building a 150,000 square foot distribution facility on 48 acres in Gerald. Isn't that like by Buffalo and Centerville and just inside I-45 on the way north of Houston, way north of Houston?
No, it's north of Georgetown off 35.
Okay, Gerald. Okay, there you go.
Imagine what that facility would have done in Victoria.
Imagine if Brent was going to drive there today and just took off towards Buffalo.
It could happen.
You would not have
I
gotten
put
close.
down some miles yesterday. I actually went to Gillette yesterday
Oh.
Did you really?
and Runge. Yeah, I left and went to Cuero and went around, and apparently, and I haven't gotten the complete scoop yet, but I turned on Highway 72. Like, if you go through Cuero, you can come out, you can take a right and go to Westhoff and then Nixon and Smiley, or Smiley, Nixon, and on that way. Or you can go straight and it takes you to Yorktown. Well, I went straight and I got out there about 2 miles, and there was a DPS trooper and a sheriff's deputy, orange cones everywhere. And they said, go left or right. You can't go straight. So I pulled up and we were the only people out there. There was no traffic. And I said, hey, you got a road construction or chasing illegals? What do you got going here? And he goes, no, there was a bad accident. And they sent me around and through, and I ended up in all these little towns. But apparently there was a street sweeper, and whatever he was doing on the shoulder was kicking up a lot of dust, and an elderly couple drove through and hit something. I don't know what they hit, but they
Sweeper, maybe?
I don't know. Is that, it may literally have been that they hit the back, but apparently there were fatalities. So that's the hard side of law enforcement, right?
Absolutely. Dallas Federal Reserve survey now showing that 40% of Texas businesses are raising wages because of a lack of applicants with legal authorization to work.
How about
40% of companies in this state were hiring illegals to do the jobs that nobody wanted, and now they're having to pay to get people in America.
Or they're finding maybe they weren't. Maybe 40% weren't hiring illegals, but maybe they're finding that the market for the American worker is going up because you don't have, this company doesn't have illegals. So now you're competing with the company that hired, you're competing with Holmes Food, who used to hire the illegals to carve up the chickens. Now you're competing with them.
Or somebody like them.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't them.
Absolutely. We're thinking about sue us. Sue us.
We don't need that. Well, I mean, they may not hear us right now.
Yeah.
They might in a few days.
Tell them about that a little bit.
Yeah,
Just give a little tease on that.
Yeah,
15,000 listeners so far. Now what?
I don't know where we're going to be. I can find that out, but we're going to expand in talks to get onto the No Bull Radio Network. That would take us into a lot of more rural areas. Pearsall, Gilly,
George West. we're
Beeville,
encroaching upon San Antonio at that point.
Atascocita. What is that? Atascocita? Is that
Atascocita? Yeah.
That's over by
Something like that?
Houston.
Or no, the other way then.
Oh,
What's the one just south of
Atascocita.
Atascosa? There we go.
Atascosa.
Thank you. Yep.
Bonnie Hart says Gerald had a massive tornado
That's right.
go through it a few years ago. I remember that now. Be small. You know, I was just thinking, I wore my unbelievable t-shirt yesterday. I have not seen Be Small on our screen in 2 months.
Nope.
I didn't
Well,
know if he
I don't
was
know where he's
upset
been.
with us.
he's been boycotting us.
Well,
I think
It's
he's
possible.
been. I think he's been busy at going to Baylor football games. It's got him depressed.
I saw a deal yesterday. It was saying that,
Hey, we're huge in Japan today.
hey, Gilbert, he's in Okinawa, Japan, checking in. Thank
Or
you,
he's
sir.
just saying that for the heck of it.
Worldwide is what we're running
The
now.
worldwide radio
There's
broadcast.
the World Wide Web, right?
They're,
he was deported.
they were talking about the Texas
Small
Tech
thing.
said that, these are traditions in football that, the tortilla throwing, and he went through, like Texas having Bebo on the sidelines, Baylor having an empty stadium. These are college traditions that should be maintained. That McLean Stadium is lovely in Waco.
Yeah, that is nice. Austin ranked the number 1 college town in the country according to Wallet Hub.
Yeah, because it spend a lot of money.
College Station was number 45, San Antonio 65, Houston number 67 on that list.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
the,
know if
the
I
glow is off
totally-
Austin for
Yeah,
me.
I don't know if
I'm not a big Austin fan these days.
I think,
And,
this,
I'm
yeah.
Texas grad, but I'm not in love with Austin.
I think this is interesting because there's a lot of people that like to try to visit every ballpark or every arena or every football stadium. This 39-year-old Virginia man named Rick Matthews has ridden every one of the 1,069 roller coasters in this country. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Says he rode the road trip at Yesterland Farm in Canton last week. I love the thrill of them, he said. You're going? You open it up? Yeah, it looks like fairly normal guy.
Yeah.
He's of Leesburg, Virginia.
These are all 1,069 roller coasters in the U.S. open to adult riders. I'm assuming then these are all permanently installed and constructed,
I was gonna say,
not just a state fair type of thing.
his last one was in Canton,
Canton,
Texas.
Texas.
They have
Yeah.
a roller coaster in Canton
Apparently the road trip, according to
at
this.
Yesterland.
Yeah,
Click on Yesterland Farm. We'll give our people a travel update.
get to Yesterland Farm. Let's see what it's all about. Look at that.
Looky there. Oh, look at it. Right by the highway.
Yeah,
So
imagine that when you start building things that people actually want to stop at along a highway as opposed to
there it is. Look at it.
industrial stuff. Oh, look at the pumpkins.
Pumpkin
Pumpkin
house.
patch.
I like it. I like it.
DFW's #1 fall festival.
There you have it. Look, you got a little tractor ride.
Yeah. Petting
Goats,
zoo.
Biting zoo. Just go get bit.
Kid just pulled his hand back.
Can you
and
imagine
goat.
the paperwork? If you had that here, the paperwork you've got to fill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I said, but Monty Howard came through with what most of you feel most of the time. He said, "Ditto, Carter." I don't know what I don't know what I said.
I don't either. Pete Strauss
Huge.
still in Kentucky enjoying the Keeneland yesterday.
That's cheats. Oh, 1 minute.
What do you think he was doing? Checking
I
which
thought
way
he
the
was
wind
going
was
which way
blowing?
there's the wind blowing. Carter's
I was
right.
waiting for him to throw up the blades of grass so he could tee off here soon.
There you go. Oh, he agrees with me on Austin.
Yeah.
But he lives in Austin.
No, I lose that.
San Antonio, that's right. Well, which is a suburb of Austin now. It's crazy. If you see those, like the I-35 corridor from the sky, it's all jammed up against 35. And then from San Antonio, when you take Highway 46 from New Braunfels, is almost like another loop around San Antonio over to Bernie.
It's funny as you get a little further north, it's skinny, and then you get to San
That's right.
Antonio and just
That's right. If you watch the 35 corridor, you don't have to go but 2 or 3 miles off the road as you get further north, and then there's nothing but just land again. Land with no water. Folks, we hope you have a great day. We love you. Tomorrow's Friday. Go
And then-
make something of yourself today. Astroworld is not a thing, be small.
Nope.
See you at the Dome. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's